Hello? And we're live. I am eating. This is a chicken, butter, parsley, olive oil, honey, lemon. Yo. Interesting tool. I'm doing some editing right now for thumbnails. And I'm eating chicken thighs, butter, honey, olive oil, lemon, parsley, and I've got a liver shake. Yeah, got a liver shake I'm gonna drink, and I got some oysters to eat. I forgot to bring them. I forgot to bring them to the pewter, but that's okay. I'll get to them eventually. I'm gonna. Trying to do a better job of eating. Eating faster. So. How are we doing tonight, everybody? What's everybody eating for dinner? Join me in dinner. Yeah. It's kind of like we're out to dinner here. Okay, I think that's like all the fats. What's going on? Yeah, that's what I'm eating for dinner. Did you see? Chicken thighs. Or over here, I forgot the camera. I moved the camera. Chicken thighs. I got some hot honey on there, olive oil, butter, parsley. And I've got a liver shake here, which I'll drink. I want to space them out because I got lemon on my chicken, so that's what we're doing. And then I'm doing some editing here for a thumbnail for my Randall cycle video. So yeah, I don't know. I just was popping on just to pop on. I don't know if anybody was gonna come on. I just figured, what the heck? I'm trying to find. I'm still playing, with the algorithm, like what works, what doesn't work, what times. Jeez Louise, that is too big. Oh, jeez Louise, what are you doing? No, I just want... Okay, what the Sigma? I can't even deal with you right now. Why are you doing that? When you gonna lose weight? I already lost weight. I was down to 168 2 weeks ago, and now I'm back up at 175. My goal is to get to 200 for the winter, and then I'm going to lose weight again. When I say for the winter, it'll probably be by the end of winter, and maybe it'll go into the spring, and then I'll do a weight loss. What am I eating right now? We're eating chicken thighs with hot honey, butter, olive oil, and lemon, and some parsley on top. And I'm doing some, editing for my thumbnails. And I can't figure out why my text box isn't giving me like, I can't 338 font, 338 size font. Who the heck even? What the heck? So I'm trying to figure out how to fix that. Pixels. Yeah, and then I want to change it to 80. Okay, yeah, and then it changes. It's so stupid. go back to layers. How do I delete layers? Okay, and let me ask Google Gemini. Do you think raw meat is necessary to fix mental issues, or raw milk and butter are sufficient? You need the raw meat. You definitely need the raw meat, because that's what regenerates the new body. It's what regenerates your cells. See if Google Gemini knows. Yeah, you definitely need the meat. It's the meats and the fats. So, I would suggest, high meat can be detoxifying, but if you're on the diet for a little bit and you want to try it out, go ahead. Not something I recommend to like first timers, but some people do it. High meat was never detoxifying for me, so your move may vary. Cream, sour cream, and fresh cream will be pretty important to you, not just milk. How can I eat more raw meat? Well, if you have sauces, so in the recipe book by Diogenes, there's a lot of sauces. I've also got a lot of sauces on my page and marination techniques. So, white meat with lemon. Pickle some ginger, eat it with your beef. Make some ketchup sauce. You can use a little honey on your meat. You can make hot honey if you like spicy foods. Just cut up some hot peppers, put them in some honey, leave it for a few days, and then then you're good. Make sure you have vegetable juice intake. 90% celery, 10% parsley. I'm like I said, I'm happy to answer the questions. This is why I do this, but I might be forgetting things off the cuff. I have a vast array of everything in YouTube playlists. So everything's there. Read Diogenes' books, but if you don't have an appetite for meat, if it disgusts you, you either need to make it taste good. Oh, that's your nose. You need to make it taste good. Yeah, so you don't need to eat organs. Organs are not going to heal your body like muscle meat. You need the muscle meat more than the organs. If organs are 20% of your diet, that's enough. 20% of your meat consumption. If organs are 20% of your meat consumption, that's enough. Why is my nose itchy? you know. Hmm. Tool options. Is I mean, what's your diet like now? I mean, like, what are you eating? Let me know what you're eating. No, I want to move. There we go. I used to eat 500 grams in the past. Yeah, I mean, eat the most you can. What's up, Jim? Oh, anesthesia. For 50 days, damn. Yeah, just start eating what you can. And then do, the fats and the meats, what you can. You eat, if you eat a pound of meat twice a week, it's going to start healing you. But you need to be, also cutting out the bad stuff in your life. The bad foods and the stress and everything. That's what makes yeah. So that's important as well. But just start eating the meat you can. I think fish and beef would be probably pretty good for you to do. Um, just off the top of my head, I don't know. Don't take that to the bank or anything. I'm not. You know, you're just comments on the comments. That's, I can only do so much with that information. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm just trying to give you the best advice with limited information. So read the books. You know your body better than anybody else. There is an anesthesia. I think it's in We Want to Live. Excuse me. There is some, I think, some advice for getting rid of anesthesia. It also depends on the kind of anesthesia. Is it localized? Was it intravenous? Do you think that I should just go no milk for a while? Yeah. Go for it. If you can do meat, the meat's good enough. The meat and the dairy, the cheese, the honey, eggs, it's fine. Milk doesn't count as a raw fat source either. The cream and the butter are good. Sour cream would be better, I think. So you get the form from me, and then you'll have a number. You can deal with the farmer after that. So you can call them and place an order tomorrow if you do it tonight. Again, no rush. There's no rush. So I don't know how much organs and glands are in blood because that's not meat, and that's kind of like a market price, so to speak. So they're going to be reasonably priced. Don't freak out, but the meat's a good price. So and the shipping from wherever you are to like northern Arkansas would be what you should calculate. Maybe $30, $20 shipping. The best for healing the nerves is 20%. I'll put you on this knowledge. No one else really talks about this. This is what you get for coming to the live streams. 80% chicken, 20% fish. 80% chicken, 20% fish. If you really want to help heal faster, pate all of that together, add in sour cream. There you go. There you go. Elite ball knowledge right there. I would also try to do 60-40 beef and fish twice a week, though, if you're doing that. I always recommend people to have in some red meat, at least a little bit in their diets, because you just kind of need the energy. You know, it's very rare that someone does not eat any red meat. You know, you should always try to have all three kinds of meat. I mean, I'm pretty sure he has some thoughts on how to detox drugs, and I think anesthesia might be in there. And We Want to Live, it'd be very similar. You know, kefir is what's recommended. Maybe avocado, carob powder, something like that. I'm not against weightlifting. No, not at all. I'm not against doing things. I will say I don't think deadlifting is very good to do unless you're training specifically for like that sport. Maybe if you do it a little more controlled and with not as much weight, it's fine. But I see a lot of these people do deadlifts and it doesn't look good, doesn't look fun, doesn't look comfortable. Yeah, it's in the newsletters. There you go. 80% chicken, 20% fish. Yep. What do you mean very good chicken and fish? As long as the chicken isn't fed a bunch of soy and it's outside, it's fine to eat pretty much. Fish, any ocean caught fish is fine. Or if you have access to freshwater streams, you could, clean freshwater streams that aren't polluted. You could also do that. I need to figure out how to do the iridology thumbnail. I have the video made. The video's made. I went through it and did it already. I just have to do the thumbnail. And, do that. Yeah. Do you have to detox anesthesia only if you notice a problem? I just joined the middle of you talking about anesthesia surgery a year ago. You really don't need to. You're young. You don't really need to worry about trying to specifically detox anything if you just do the diet and avoid the bad stuff. You know what I mean? So, I think I might do this. With only red meat, it's possible to heal nerves. It's going to take a lot longer. It'll take a lot longer. Right, yeah, Jim Fleece is on top of it. I guess that's why he's the moderator. I'm making the video right now. Oh, wow, that's oh, that's huge, dude. Let me tell you what I'm gonna do, though. Actually, I can just show you guys. I can just show you guys the eye. I can give you guys a little, hold on. I'm having some technical problems. There we go. All right, hold on. Let me all right, let me do that, and I'll screen share here. Window capture. I think it's this one. Yeah, we did it. Okay. Okay, guys. So this is my left eye. Can you see that? Hold on, let me put some lines in here so no one can steal my thing. Hold on. Let me zoom out real quick. Derpy, derpy, derpy. Brush? I don't want brush. Please, alright. Now we're gonna go here, and we're gonna go here. Why isn't that working? Brush. Brush is not working. Why? Why isn't that working? It's not working anymore. How do I unselect something? Oh well. Okay, so anyway. Let's give you a little sneaky peek here. So this is from 4 years ago, and that's from like a month ago. The black lines, those black lines are mine. I guess I can see it now. Let me put in another. Let me put a yellow, so that way it's. Oh, we gotta go here. Yeah. Okay, so the yellow lines are what I drew, so people can't steal my iris. Okay, but yeah, what do you guys think? Am I crazy, or do you see a difference? Do you see the change? I guess, yes, the camera's different, but you can see this is like visibly brown. This looks a little less. I don't know, what do you guys think? They're not out yet. The videos aren't out yet. I'm still making the thumbnail. Hard maxing? What is hard maxing? Wow, you guys really popped off. I missed a bunch of chats here. Wow. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so study. What are you talking about? I see a difference. Is the color different though? Is it really that noticeable? Because I'm kind of the colorblind. I don't really know. Is there a difference though? Like in the color? Really? You think? Yeah, I don't even know. I just get lucky. I just get lucky, honestly. I have no idea. Hard maxing surgeries. Oh, getting surgery is retarded because so much can happen and go wrong. And you're poisoning yourself. Hard maxing's dumb. Cool. So yeah, that's 8 years on the diet, guys. So you know, and that's the same eye. It's the same left eye, and you can see here, like it's pretty dark. It's a little darker here with those spots, those tears, but it's gotten a little better, maybe. I don't know. It might take a longer time to heal, but yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Am I doing it right? Am I scamming you? Am I scamming you, or am I schizophrenic, or was that impressive, or no? Or was that like mid, or what? I don't know. I've never done this sort of comparison, so what do you guys think? What are you seeing? That's now. That's then. That was then. This is now. That was then. This is now. I did not have blue eyes as a kid. Red light mimics the light from the sun, which makes your sleep worse. Dim incandescents are better for your circadian rhythm. I don't know about that. I sleep pretty good, man. The new one looks like pond water. The old one looks brown. I did not have blue eyes. Frank Tufano is hard maxing to the grave. Yeah, exactly. Wow, cool. Well, okay. Awesome. Oh, God, dagnabbit, where's the black? There we go. Why is the color not... Oh, I see why. Because it is the wrong pane. Okay. What the Sigma? Come on now. Oh, cancel. Edit. Yes, I want to edit it. Okay. I want to move the text. Gosh darn it, man. Guess I got to use the move tool. I gotta say, GIMP is nice, but it's a little frustrating. It's a little frustrating sometimes. I definitely agree that you're poisoning yourself, but things are already gone wrong if you are sub Chad. Do people with brown eyes tend to have more defined lines radiating outwards? I don't think so. I mean, people who are worried about their looks have a level of insecurity and neuroticism that could be defined as mental illness. So, getting a bunch of surgeries is never going to fix your mental illness. Do you understand? You understand Clav is never going to be happy with his looks because he's mentally ill. He's also a drug addict. So, mentally ill drug addicts and people who are constantly doing plastic surgery and stuff, they're never going to be happy with their looks. Look what happened to Frank Tufano. You could do hard maxing and end up like him. Does that sound fun? I don't know. Well, I would say it's a serious problem if they're really considering getting surgery to alter their looks. I mean, no offense, but like, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, if hard maxing really worked, Frank Tufano and Clav would be the happiest people on earth, and they would stop getting surgeries. But they're not stopping. They're never going to stop. So it's like, when is enough? When is enough? It's never going to be enough. That's the whole point. So, take that for what you will. I mean, do what you want to do, whatever. It's your life, but I'm just saying. What about shapes? Can I do shapes here? A path tool? What's a path? I don't know. We're not going to do that. A healing tool. I need healing. Oh well. We're just going to do the old pencil Rooney here. And I need... why are you not working? This is embarrassing. Pencil mode, normal, size. Maybe make it a little smaller. Hardness, yeah, I want it hard. Why aren't you working, bud? Oh man, that's... why are you doing this to me? Enable dynamics? How about we take off the dynamics? Why aren't you working? Oh, this is frustrating. I would be, but I want a wife, which is inaccessible currently. Yeah, that's just nonsense. Honestly, talking like that, someone should slap some sense into you, literally. I thought the blue light was the sun. I thought the blue light. You Circadian people need to pick a color, man. Pick a side. Blue light's bad. No, red light's bad because the blue light's the sun. No, the red light's like the sun. What the hell, man? I don't know what I'm trying. My pencil won't work. I have to ask Google Gemini. Is it the layers? Because the layers aren't activated? Oh, yeah, it's the layers. Okie dokie. Duh. Okay. That's not the best thumbnail, but change. We're gonna stop sharing now. I'm gonna stop sharing now. Enjoying some sprayed rack of lamb. Amazing. Yeah, I don't know. I wish Build, Hunt, Thrive would answer my question. Is it the red light I need to be concerned for? Is it the blue light? Or do I just walk around my house with no light, with no lights, and break my toes on everything? No idea what's so crazy about saying I want to be better to get a wife. Well, you're not talking about being better to get a wife. You're talking about going through a bunch of surgeries to appeal to the opposite sex, which you definitely don't need to do. You should go back and look at pictures from like 200 years ago and look at how normal and ugly people looked. People 200 years ago were not good looking, so majority of them. So you don't have any reason to do that stuff. It's crazy. It's I'm not telling this. I'm not saying this to make you feel bad. I'm not saying this to be mean. And I'm just saying that's kind of mentally ill that you want to get a bunch of plastic surgery so you can get a wife. You think that's going to get you a wife. That's kind of crazy. Do you hear me say that? Here, let me phrase it this way. You know, I'm just feeling kind of down lately. You know, I look in the mirror and I just feel like I could look better. And I'm a little self-conscious, you know, and maybe I'm a little too self-conscious because, you know, I feel like, you know, I think what would solve all my problems if I went to a plastic surgeon and I said, hey, cut me up real good. Sedate me and cut me up real good. Maybe you got to do it one time. Maybe you got to do it 2 more times. Maybe you got to fix it and do it a 3rd time. But just make me look good, man. Just cut me up and make me look good so I can get a wife. I'm going to get a bunch of surgeries. I'm going to spend tens of thousands of dollars to get a bunch of surgeries so I can get a wife. And then we're going to have to spend tens of thousands of dollars on a wedding. And then when my plastic surgery starts to fall apart, I'm going to have to pay tens of thousands of more dollars. And if I can't do that, then I'm going to be chopped. And then my wife's going to divorce me, and she's going to divorce me for tens of thousands of dollars. And then I'm going to have no money for plastic surgery to keep my face looking good. That's pretty much that's what you're signing up for in that scenario. Do you not see? And yeah, sure, that's the worst case scenario, but I mean, heck, 50% of marriages already end in divorce. So what does that mean? That means 50% of marriage 50% chance you get divorced. You marry somebody, that's it. And what, you think you get plastic surgery once it's going to fix everything? You know, your body changes over time. So you're going to have plastic surgery the rest of your life to keep up appearances. Because once you start to change the body's going to keep changing how it wants to change. And then you're going to have to intervene to change that. You understand? So, like Clav, he's not going to live past 30 because he's low body fat. He's a drug addict. He drinks, he does meth, he does coke. He does all those terrible things. And, yeah, he's done those surgeries. He's doing these peptides, which are not good for your heart either. And yeah, he's not going to live past 30. So, but other people who've done this, you know, plastic surgery, go look at them. It's terrible. It's crazy. Oh, nice. Blood Axe. What a guy. Dating in your look range, realistically, you should soft X and see where you stand realistically. Then date in your looks range, which is brutal sometimes, I know. Society was a lot different back then. We were pretty much forced into dating any man they could because they couldn't work. No, that's a fair point. But at the end of the day, you have a whole generation of women who are single and on antidepressants, and nursing homes are going to be making a killing because no one has families, no one gets married, and younger people are going to see that. So. And it's more than just how you look too, There's more to what is attractive than just how you look. So women overshoot their standards because of the confidence boost they get from 20 pounds cake frosting on their faces, so they look the threshold is unrealistically high. Yeah, that's another fair point. Also, a lot of the attention they get from social media, like if they have social media, they're just constantly bombarded with yeah. Alright, so we got those 2 video thumbnails done. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty mentally ill. Yeah. I hear Korea's pretty dystopic. It's kind of a dystopia in Korea, in South Korea. I've never been there. I don't really know if I would go there, honestly. I'd rather just go to Japan, personally. If I'm going to spend my time and money to go somewhere like Asia, I'd go to Japan. Because I've been to China and Taiwan. I've been to South Asia. And I kind of want to go, like, relax and enjoy somewhere. I'd kind of like to go to India, but that would not be relaxing or very enjoyable. That would be very kind of frustrating, but also funny, dealing with the Indian people and just the constant scams and haggling and everything. It'd be pretty funny. It'd make good content, though, for sure. Looks maxing is the black pill. They want us to divorce and depopulate. Primals are the one that are going to survive small knitted communities with good food. There's a white pill. Could be. China and Japan better than Korea, yeah. The issue with men is the underdeveloped men constantly want a more attractive woman outside their looks range. They search so long outside their looks range and end up wasting their youth. Yeah. I'll tell you what, guys. It's kind of all the same, I've been soft matching since 2022. I can assure you I've considered anything you propose. Man, there's a lot of like crazy lingo in this chat. It's pretty funny. Spitting common sense wisdom for the mentally ill. Mentally ill, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, even Godus is into looks maxing. He whitens his teeth. He got a hair transplant. And then he got a hair system because his hair transplant failed. So yeah, but like I said, it's never enough. You start doing it once, it's never enough, and then you're gonna have to keep up appearances. It's not gonna do anything. You can. There's plenty of things you can do to help your looks without getting surgery, bro. I'm telling you. You do this diet, you work out, it makes a difference, especially when you're young. Don't waste all your time thinking about what you can do with surgery when you're young, when you have, time and energy to do something, with natural means. It can be enough. I'm telling you. You just gotta put yourself out there and, yeah. We talked about this last night. My big thing is to find a woman that's taller than me, so I can enhance my bloodline with height, more height genes. That's my goal. So, just as long as she doesn't look like Pearl, that podcaster Pearl. She's tall, but as long as she doesn't look like that, I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? So basically 16. Bro, you are, my God, you need to log off the internet. You need to log off the internet for like a year and just do the diet and work out, and you'll be fine. Your perception. I know you think you're 16 and you know everything, but I'm just telling you, your perception right now is so warped and out of whack. Yeah, you need to just take a break, man. You need to log off for a few months at least and just pull it together, because if you're thinking like that and you're 16, that's crazy. That's not good. That is not good. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just telling you this straight up. If you really want help, you're here, you're looking for answers, and I'm just telling you the answer is to kind of log off and ignore all that stuff and just eat healthy and work out and don't worry about it. Honestly. Do some neck exercises. Do some good breathing. Buy a Revive, a myo brace. Try the thumb pulling. I don't even know if that works, but get a palate expander. Yeah, dude. I'm 30 and oh no, I'm watching playback from an hour ago. I was like, is there a dog behind me? I'm not even seeing the live feed. Yeah, you just don't even need to worry about it, dude. You're 16. That's crazy. I'll tell you this. If you spend your whole life worrying about having surgery someday to look better to find a wife, you're never going to find a wife. Because honestly, the best time the best time to meet girls is your age, because you're never going to have, this is it, man. Unless you go to college, this is it. This is the time. This is the only time in your life you're going to have proximity in a place to a lot of different girls and women. Okay? I'm just telling you. College and high school, that's it. Because after that, nah, man. Everybody's individualized, separated. There's no third places. Even if you're doing like clubs and stuff, it takes time to integrate into that social group, and you're going to be out of luck, man. Before you know it, you're going to be single. It's like you're going to be single forever. So, I mean, you're not going to be single forever, but it's going to be like really hard. I'm just telling you from experience. And I'm not the best looking guy, but I mean, I used to get matches on dating apps and Tinder and Hinge, all that stuff. I used to, OK Cupid, even when that was a thing, like 11, 12 years ago. Yeah, I mean, I haven't used dating apps in, what's it been? For 5 years, man. I got rid of that because it's just such a waste of time. Even though I would get matches and I'd get dates and things, but I just wasn't finding the right people, the right women, the right, person for my life. So I was like, screw this, man. It's just a waste of time. Because you're there, you're swiping, and then you have to it's like putting yourself up on the store. It's terrible. It's such a terrible experience. It really only benefits women because they have because everybody goes to them, and then they can screen and choose. And yeah, sometimes you get chosen, but sometimes it's just not a good fit. Your values are different. Maybe the chemistry's there, but it's just not. You're not really going to the same places. You don't want the same things. And chemistry kind of fades. That spark, it kind of fades sometimes. So, I don't know. I mean, you can get women at any age. You just need game. It's true. If I didn't dive deep into the internet, I would never find this diet and would be eating school lunch at McDonald's. I'm sure lots of people would say, "Don't worry about diet. Raw meat is crazy." No, it's true they would, and that's not a bad point. But at the end of the day, this is a diet in a way of eating. It's not getting a bunch of surgeries to look better. You understand the difference? So, it's different. Yeah, exactly. Exactly what Hooping Squad is saying. Like, you can see how I look, you know? You can see how I look. That's how I look after 8 years on the diet when I started in my late 20s. So, I don't know. Am I chopped? I definitely know my face got wider. You can't really see my jawline because of the beard, but I do have a little bit of one, even though my wisdom teeth were taken out. Don't get your wisdom teeth taken out. Gus, there's a lot of things you can do, like becoming an artist or musician, traveling the world. There's a callback. Yeah. Yeah, everyone in here is telling you don't get surgeries. Don't even think about it. Think about the money you want to spend on surgeries. If you just invested that money, you would have money. Women love money, dude. You can use that money to do hobbies, interesting hobbies, to give you credit and status. You can use that money to just make more money. You can use that money to travel. You know, don't box yourself into just using it on surgeries. Because again, the surgeries are not they're not a one fixed solution. I'm telling you this. If you go into getting surgeries like that, you're going to have to get those surgeries every 10 years at least. And then it'll be even more frequent when you're older if you want to keep up appearances. So just realize that, honestly. So, and I'm doing what I said I didn't want to do, which is just yapping and not eating, so I need to take a break with some nummies. Yeah, boxing. Mm-hmm. I swear, egg yolks make anything taste good. Well, must be some good eggs. You know, I'm kind of surprised, Gus, when you said you were 16. I was expecting you to be like 20 or something. All I had tonight was some low-quality beef with raw water buffalo butter. Well, that sounds pretty good. Tennessee. What's Tennessee? Even if I got surgery, I don't want to become Clav and go out to bars. I would go out and travel and do my dreams, but it'll all be 10 times smoother because of the halo effect. No, it won't, dude. Let me tell you something. When you travel the world and you're white, even if you're not good looking, that's already a halo effect. You already have the halo effect. You just don't realize it because you've never been to a country where they like white people, like Asia. Like, I'm not even that attractive, but when I was in Nepal, I'd have like schoolgirls. They'd be walking, you know, on the trail up the mountains or wherever to or from school, and they would like yell at me like, "Oh, you're a very beautiful boy," and they would giggle and laugh and run away. And the old ladies, I would walk by the old ladies in the villages, and they would see me, and they would like say something and laugh, and I would be, you know, with a Nepali guy or you know, a guide or somebody, and they'd be like, "What would they say?" And they're like, "Oh, they just said you were like really handsome." And I'm like, "Oh, that's nice." But yeah, I mean, when you travel, it's always beneficial to and you will, you know, you'll get bombarded with locals who want to take you to weddings. Like, I've been to weddings, I've been to funerals, weirdly enough, I've been to like people's shops and homes. I've been to schools, you know, and this is mostly in Nepal. It's like you go into a village, right, where it's off the beaten path, and someone who speaks English and wants to practice their English will like come to you and be like, "Oh, hey, like I'm so and so," and they're kind of like a tour guide, you know. They kind of like know places, and jobs are a little iffy out there in rural areas. So, like there was always somebody I kind of befriended or paid to be like a tour guide, and you know they show me around, and it was pretty cool. And it also helped to have that translation too, to have a translator. It was very helpful. So, but yeah, I mean, they want the green card. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they're just, you know, like I'm saying, yeah, don't get surgery. Literally, everyone's telling you not to get surgery. I'm just telling you, it's like, you know, I know you don't want to become clav, but it's not about going out to clubs. You will become clav if you get plastic surgery, because you're gonna have to keep getting plastic surgeries. Do you hear me telling you this? Your body will keep changing, and it will change the surgeries, and you're gonna look even worse. You understand? You're gonna have to get more surgery. It's not about wanting to do the surgery, but if you're not happy, if you're insecure, it's gonna keep happening. It's just gonna compound. You understand? So I've seen it happen to people in real life. Yeah. When I was 16, drumming legit made me happy and fulfilled me. Not so much anymore, but other things do now. Don't rely on some bish to make you happy is a bad plan. Yeah, exactly. You know, finding a wife or another person is never going to make you happy anyway. So if you're not happy before you do those things anyway, it's going to end a disaster. Like, bro, your eye area will be top 1%, even if your jaw isn't crazy developed. Your eye area and clear skin is enough to be top 2% looking guy. If you're like over 40 years old, then maybe I would get surgery, but it's useless, hypothetical. Just don't do it, man. Yeah, don't do it, Gust. I hope your parents won't let you do it. If they love you, they won't. If they really love you, they won't. Crazy, man. Yeah, it's just like, just log off for a couple months, bro. Like, you're good. You know how to do the diet. Just read the books, log off, and just do the diet and lock in. Go lift weights. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You know, get a mouth guard for your jaw. Start doing the neck curls, which I don't even do. I should do, though. I'm going to clear some snow with my dad. I like your lives. It's chill. Thanks, Llama Boy. I appreciate it. Have fun in the snow. Bundle up. Oh, that's alright, man. The community is just for people who, like, really want to learn the diet. You can learn the diet on your own if you have the materials. Everything's available online, so don't worry about it. Arigato, Kohai. Sayonara. Bill Jim, you were a drummer. That's interesting. I used to play guitar. You probably saw it. I pulled it out on stream before. You're probably the one asking about it because you're a musician. But I haven't touched a thing in years, honestly. I have 8 guitars I haven't touched in years. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Technically, I have 6 guitars and a banjolin. Wait. 2. Because I sold my acoustic. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a classical guitar, nylon. I still have. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I've got like 6 guitars still. What do you think of MSE and face mask? I don't even know what MSE and face mask are. Are those people? Are those protocols? Are those bands? What are those? It's surgery. It's ortho. Oh, I don't know what those do. I've never heard of them. If I activate the leptin hormone, how many days can I be satiated without activating ghrelin? I don't know. This isn't really like a biohacking channel, so it's just it's real simple. It's just eating foods and getting fat. The purpose of this channel is to get people fat. So, I from your statement, it sounds like we'd want to activate ghrelin so we eat more and get fatter. Yeah. I have 6 guitars and I'm not writing songs. Yeah. 6 guitars and a banjolin. Let me show you actually. So yeah, technically I only have 5 guitars. The 6th guitar, it is functional, but it's really more for decoration. I bought it in Nepal. Oh yeah, this is a banjolin. It's a mandolin with the banjo drum called a banjolin, and it's a very rare instrument. This was uniquely crafted. It's over 100 years old. Yeah, it's, Bill, that song I showed you I wrote, this was the instrument I played on. That was the solo I played on. I played the solo on this. Yeah, I ripped that solo on this. And the phrasing in the chorus, the melodic harmony, the accompaniment. Yes, this is my banjolin. This is a very interesting antique. I could probably sell it for a good bit of money, but I haven't yet because it's in good condition. Very dusty, though. Very dusty. Very dusty. That's not good. But yeah. Very dusty. Yeah, I should probably clean that off. But yeah, I'm not writing songs. I can't play it either right now because it's out of tune. It's tremendously out of tune. The tuning on a banjolin is very tight. It puts a lot of pressure on the neck, so I detuned it. So it is applying some pressure to the neck to keep it taut, but not like in tune. So Gus will write a song for you and prepare it on stream. Oh, okay. Orthodont treatment that expands palate midface and gives forward growth. The face mask or the MSE? Yeah, I mean, you can try those interventions if you want. It's certainly better than surgery. Let me see. Oh, that's a palate expander. I've had a palate expander before. I should I honestly, I probably should get one. The face mask. Oh, the underbite. Okay. I have an overbite, so I wouldn't want that. Very smart to wait until after puberty. Yeah, I have braces too, bro. The MSE and the palate expander are different things. They target different things. It looks like. Oh, they don't? Okay. Well, go get. Yeah, I mean, it's just orthodontics. You know, if you already had braces, do more orthodontics to try to fix the problem. That's better than surgery. Go for it. If your parents can pay for it or you can pay for it, it's certainly better than getting cut open, which I think is crazy. Yeah. I'm gonna go grab my oysters. One sec. Okay. Okie dokie. Click the wrong button. Oopsie daisy. I don't know why it's easier to lift your cheeks to pass gas, but it is, man. Anyway. I mean, like I said, get the orthodontic stuff. Tooth gaps. Big if true. That's crazy. You're gonna get you're gonna get something to undo the damage of braces, and then you're gonna get braces again. That's crazy. At least you know PA Part 1 is on target right now, culturally speaking. I'm sure it is, Bill. I trust you. I trust your taste, your judgment. You're into weens, so obviously you have good taste. You know what you're doing. 2 viewers? Wow, I only have 2 viewers in here? It's crazy. Is it Gust and Bill, Jim? You know, it's funny. I thought I had my school event today, but I logged on. I'm like, hey, it's not Wednesday. It's Tuesday. If this stuff is for girls, are you a girl? Oof. Yeah, he's white. Look at his picture, man. You're gonna have it nice, trust. Yeah, exactly. Ugh. I got watch point oysters. I'm gonna see how they taste. Well, I got 2 blue points and 2 watch point. I don't know how they're gonna taste. The watch points, I mean, I never had that before, so I got the blue points too because I want to see, you know, oh, these open nice. These are gonna be tasty, bro. Oh, look at that fat oyster, bro. Holy smokes. Oh, amazing. Ah, that was amazing. That was so good. That was a good oyster, man. A Middle Eastern with a bulbous tip that looks like a ball so people think I'm Mexican. I don't get it, but that sounds tough. Recessed because of veganism. Many such cases. Yeah, you'll be fine, Gus. Just lock in, do the diet. Do that orthodontic stuff if you want, you know? You'll be alright. It really depends on the type of oyster. So, the more northeast the oysters are, like the northeast coast, the saltier they get. They tend to be a little more mild the further south on the coast they are of the United States. The northwest coast oysters, they can be saltier. Not saltier, but they have like a metallic finish, which is kind of weird to say. But like these blue points right now, not too salty, kind of balanced, kind of sweet, very meaty. Sometimes the oysters, it depends on the season. In the winter, when the oysters are in season, they are definitely meatier. So, very good. Yeah. Alright, got this baby open now. This is the watch house. Let's see what this is like. Oh, nice. A little more sweet. The watch house oyster is a little more sweet. It's a little more sweet, but it's clean. The shell kind of sucks, though. Weak shell. A weak shell is kind of frustrating because when you shuck it, it breaks. You get little bits. I swallowed a oyster shard the other day. I was kind of worried because it was kind of a nice chunk and it was sharp. But my stomach acid just took care of it. Surprisingly. Take me as an example. I've also heard things like we are all one, the idea of singularity, we actually are equal. I believe that's like the collective unconscious, the cognitive schema. I hate sharing superficial ideas. I just think this applies here. Like, I don't care what people do. He's lost his mind? Who? Scott Hale? Oh, Scott Hall? I don't know. Let's see. Let's search up. If I search his name, it should come up, right? Oh, okay. I mean, he's got a lot of videos. About wearing gold. Is that the one? Astrology.
I've reverse engineered and both of those times when I had those car accidents, travel has not actually been my experience.
Okay. I don't know, man. It just seems like astrology stuff. I mean, it's pretty out there, but I think that's pretty typical. I don't think that's anything. Oh. It doesn't have to be sharp like this. It doesn't have to be sharp. The other one I have is more dull. And don't worry, it will. The oysters are hard, so if you use it enough, it won't be sharp for very long. And get like a towel or something. You know, have like this. Obviously, is my snot rag I use for my nose. It's not what I use on oysters, but just have a rag to put here on this part of your hand. So like if you do stat, it's like it's not going to do anything. But I stabbed myself about 4 times before I started using a rag consistently, and I had holes in my hands. I stabbed myself here a couple times. I stabbed myself here really bad. This was meat bandage video. I had a hole in my hand. It went right through. It was so painful, and it was like squirting blood. It was bad. It healed in about a week though. Well, 5 days, a week. Everyone has a dream that they can't access, it seems, right? I have been in touch with my fantasies. I think so. I think so, RJ. It's maybe not something in this realm, but who knows? I mean, oh my gosh. Would Scott Hall survive India? I mean, as someone who's lived in India light, I've lived in South Asia quite a bit. He's he's the type of person you see in Nepal, honestly, in India. There's a lot of people like him. I think he would have problems with his diet, so that's probably why he doesn't want to go. But India's it's not as cheap as it used to be. Um, yeah, I feel like he would get scammed though. He's a little. He seems like a trusting guy, and you can't be a trusting guy in India. A lot of the ascetics and the spiritual people in India are vegetarian, so that would cause a lot of problems with him unless he just went full dairy, which I mean you could probably do, but I don't really see him doing that personally. He seemed pretty into the diet. I mean, it looks now like he's an astrologer. He wants to be an astrologer. So I mean, good for him. You know, you do what you love, I guess. He's telling everyone to do psychedelics and stuff. Yeah, he's been doing that for a long time though. So you're right, Gus. Brutal. Sometimes they had invented an oyster prying tool by now. That's what this is, Bill. That's what this. It doesn't get better than this, honestly. As crazy as it seems, yeah, you just wear something for your hand so you don't stab yourself. That's the trick. That's the trick. Yeah, sorcery is the devil's gateway to the devil, so it's not good. It's not good. Well, I mean, yeah, yeah. Drugs will make you lose your mind, so that's why they're bad. That's why I don't tell people to do drugs. It's not healthy. There's nothing healthy about it. So, yeah. You know, it's kind of crazy. I was looking at my watch time for these live videos. One of them had like 25 hours. And then I was looking through the other ones and they only had like 4 hours. I was like, what the Sigma? Didn't make any sense. I think what's his name? People were asking me about him yesterday. Resident. Oh, what was it? Was it Resident Raw? What's his name? I remember he was promoting LSD and stuff, I think, too. I think I talked to him like a long time ago. I think he had a falling out with Scott. He was kind of like in the Scott school of the diet, I guess, and they had a falling out. From what I remember, maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I seem to recall he was also promoting like chewing weed and doing LSD, which is bad. It's not good. I guess that's one thing I disagree with Audrey with, is that the drugs are bad. I don't think it's going to do LSD or to chew pot. Billy Mays, Oyster Pryor 3000. Yeah, that's crazy. Very demonic. But I mean, when you are doing drugs, it kind of lets the demons in, so to speak. It lowers your inhibitions, it clouds your judgment, so am I Christian? I guess I'm Catholic, yeah. Oyster Pryor is your folk metal band. Could be. Although the music days are done. That's probably not happening. Why am I even looking at my frickin' phone? I don't even know why. I wanted to check something. Oh yeah, video ideas. I did that. Those are 4 videos possibly. Okay, no, I did. I got them. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. I don't know if I'm going to stream. Oh, it's only 8 o'clock? The night is young. Still got 2 more oysters to eat, and I've got. Oh, if you've seen my famous documentary, I've got my oyster shake, or I'm sorry, my liver shake. So that's kind of dessert. I'm waiting for the lemon to kind of clear my system before I pound this down. Eat some more oysters. Give it another 10 minutes and I'll chug this. I am too. It kind of confuses me. The Bible talks about salt being good. Now some people say the Bible and people want you to be vegetarian. Well, the Bible isn't a health food book, you have to understand. And salt, had its uses in a context, but you know what I mean? Ideally, if people didn't have pollution and stuff, they could be vegetarian and they could be fine. The whole reason we need this diet is because we've been poisoned. Because of modernity. Are you not a trusting kind of guy? It depends. Sometimes I think Sometimes I think, like, is your inability to trust people a reflection of how you perceive you can trust others, or how others can trust you? You know what I mean? Do you not trust people because you yourself are not trustworthy? Is that what that means? I don't know. It really just comes down to the vibe somebody gives off, the feeling in your gut, you know? Because, like I've said, I've been around the world and I've had to deal with all kinds of different people, pretty much every kind of person you can imagine. And you just kind of pick up on cues, like how you know someone's like BSing you, or is trying to rip you off, or lie to you. Is this quiet? Can I fix my volume? There we go. Should be a little better now. So yeah, I've always, you know, I'd like to think I'm trusting, but of course, if people prove to me in some way that they're not trustworthy, then of course I'm not going to trust them. The ball dropping tomorrow is going to be legendary. My girlfriend with fragrance will hug me, and then I'll have to take a shower. That's funny. Vegetarianism was before the flood. Autogenous diet is for sick people. If you are healthy, then you can live with salt in your diet. Yeah, pretty much. Especially if you drink stuff like raw milk, and you know you have like the right foods in your diet, I think. Trust but always verify. Exactly, trust but verify. That's actually a saying from the KGB. Trust but verify. Which is pretty funny. Yeah. That's an old KGB saying. Trust but verify. Learn that in cybersecurity. So, yeah. Am I going to work for ICE? I don't know. We'll see, I guess. I think if I did have a job like that, I think the security stuff might be one of those things where I couldn't talk about it. Maybe, I don't know. But of course, you know, if I'm out there on the street doing removals, I guess I'll show up on the news one day maybe, or in some libtard TikTok video or Instagram reel, who knows. I'm so dehydrated right now because I haven't gotten any raw milk. I'm about to head to Whole Foods. What can I get for optimal hydration? I'm thinking coconut water or raw juice. They have cold pressed vegetable juices at Whole Foods. You could also make the hydration formula recipe on my channel. The hydration formula is pretty good. You can blend together like eggs, coconut. Blend together like eggs, tomato, cucumber, honey, a little lemon, a little lime. You can drink that. That would be nice. You could get a Gerolsteiner. Get a Gerolsteiner, make some lemonade. Put a raw egg in there, some honey. That's good. Yeah. There you go. American police seem pretty trigger happy. Do you know the civil rights lawyer on YouTube? No, I don't. American police are kind of trigger happy, but at the end of the day, because a lot of people have guns and cops do get shot at, I can't really blame them, but the raw police body cam videos are much better. Strong stomach acid is a flex. That's true. Did you just hear the part where I talked about the oyster shard? That's kind of a while ago, but Yeah, my stomach acid is pretty good. I'm kind of surprised. I feel like, looking in my iris, I feel like I should have had more trouble with digestion, but I don't, So, the beet juice really helped, guys. It's a game changer. Canada seems to be a lot more chill. Not really. I mean, we had a llama boy in here, and he's Canadian. They will like raid your house and take all your money if you have raw milk, basically. So, American police do not mess around. It's true. Rodney Rowdy Betters. Hello, Rodney Rowdy Betters. Rodney Rowdy Betters. Say that 5 times fast. I can't. Yeah. Some cops can be chill. Like, some cops are chill, some cops are not. Some cops are corrupt, some cops are not. It just depends. But in general, it's better to not talk to the police. What are you doing, dog? Those are my oysters. Those are not for you. It's better to not talk to the police. I remember one time I was at this house party in Chicago. Huge house. Really awesome house. Really, really cool party. Unfortunately, this goes back to being too trusting. A bunch of young college kids invited some people, unsavory characters, and their house ended up getting robbed and ripped off like a week later, like everything. And I remember chilling in the basement. They had a den. It was a finished basement that was like a den, an old school like den, a conversation den. And we had Zeppelin 4 on, I think, and some other stuff. This guy had all these cool records. I think he was from California. Pretty chill dude. And I remember having a good conversation with him and having some drinks. And, I went outside to smoke a cigarette. And it was kind of scary because, like, there were these Chicago cops. They were just trawling through the alley. And they came in. They, like, opened the gate. And they walked on. They came into the yard. And then one of them just, like, lights up a cigarette and is just looking at us. And then they just walk into the house. And they kind of shut the party down. They didn't really like do anything, like crazy, but it was just real intimidating. They were these huge guys, and they just, he's walking through the house and he was smoking a cigarette. It was kind of crazy. It was like, okay, I'm gonna leave, I guess. Yeah, Chicago cops are crazy. If you get pulled over by a RoboCop, your life could end. A peaceful job like cybersecurity. Cybersecurity depends on if you do policy, yeah, that's a little more peaceful, which I'd like to do, don't get me wrong, but I'm just looking for a new job. I really need to change it up, It's tough out there. I've been trying to get a state job for years now. I've had a couple interviews, but I've had like several first round interviews and 2 second round interviews. So, I've come close, but no cigar. We'll see. Am I into any conspiracies? I guess, but I'm not going to talk about it here on YouTube too much. Obviously, my channel's about to get monetized, so if you want more like information about conspiracies and even more about the diet stuff, I can't talk about on YouTube. That's where you go to the school. That's where that happens, or can happen rather. No, don't break the blanket. Move. I'm gonna bust up my pad. Bust up my pad. I'm gonna put holes in my blanket. Don't do that. Yeah, I know. I saw. I had to get her out of here. She's like clawing everything. I'm like, no, not today. No, thank you. Do you talk about? No, there's really no reason to. That's what Godis talks about in his Telegram. Yeah, I know. He really pivoted because he like used to say that kind of stuff was crazy, which I mean, obviously, it's not like Yeah, I mean, you can talk about Zionism or whatever. It is what it is, but he always dismissed that kind of stuff. He thought it was crazy, or it's what he said. Who knows? But then, as soon as he like started getting banned, that's what he pivoted to on his Telegram to attract that audience. He realized what his audience was, which is a bunch of like cringe, mentally ill wignats, and that's what he pivoted to. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, it isn't a single group running the world and ruining the world. There's factions that war with each other. Because in my opinion, at the top, there's like a lot of people with power and money, and they have so much power and money that the world becomes a stage, it becomes a game, and like everything is just points on the scoreboard. So it isn't just like one group of people. It isn't just one religion. It isn't just one, whatever. it's a consortium, and we don't even know who they are really. I mean, you hear about the Rockefellers, you hear about the Rothschilds, or Bill Gates, or the royal family, or whoever, and it's like that's the people who are really pulling the strings are not. No one knows who they are except for like the people at the very top. It's kind of like in One Piece how there's Emu at the top and the Gorosei, and no one really knows about the Gorosei except for the Navy. No one knows about the Gorosei except for the Navy. The very high up in the Navy, like the vice admirals and the admirals, nobody knows about them except them. But then the only people that know about Emu are the Gorosei and the God's Knights. So that's like the buffer. That's kind of what's going on. Fallen Angels. Yeah, there you go. Gypsy Crusader. Yeah, he's crazy. Yeah, I mean, he kind of had a rough start though, because he was like a journalist and everything, and he was like a pretty normal guy, and then he got like assaulted by Antifa or something, and then he had a firearm, and somehow he ended up in prison, and the government basically just like ruined his life, and maybe he shouldn't have had a gun on him, but like, yeah, and then you kind of just like dig your own grave, like you're in too deep. It's like some people, their bread and butter, like the way they make money is based on something that isn't great, but you have to do it anyway because you have no other options. That's kind of where he is. Yeah, it's not good. It's too bad. Aleister Crowley, yeah, exactly. Aleister Crowley's a real sick guy. All right, guys, liver shake. Here we go. Like an idiot, I left out my liver all night. Such an idiot. I get my meat out, my plate. I put the chicken back, and I leave the jar of liver out all night. I didn't realize it until this morning. I was like, oh, son of a... I wasn't even trying to make high meat, so I'm trying to eat it pretty fast. Yeah, we just chugged half of it, bro. I'm going to wait a few minutes and chug it again. I'm going to eat this oyster now. And let's do the other watch house. Watch house. This is probably too niche for people to relate to, but I saw this guy on TikTok. He makes funny videos of he does Frieren themed parodies, but all the characters are Family Guy characters in Marge Simpson. friend, her apprentice is Marge Simpson. Like, he draws them and he does the voices. Peter, Quagmire, Joe, Marge. It's really funny. I doubt anybody can relate to that though, because there's like 5 people here, and most of them probably think anime is really dumb. And even if they did watch anime, they probably don't watch Furin. I watched it on a whim. It was alright. It's alright. Nasty stuff. Especially when it's like kind of rotting and I left it out all night. It's a little sour, bro. It's a little sour. Hmm. RJ with the... What kind of face is that? I don't even know. If Gus is into conspiracies, then you should realize he's a victim of the Looksmax psyop. Yeah. Looksmaxing is just a gateway to transhumanism, honestly. That's why Clavicular was getting invited to Peter Thiel parties. Those are kind of a, I don't know, strange affair. I don't know if it was a dinner party or like one of Peter Thiel's pool parties. I don't know. Is Brian Johnson possessed with demons? No, I don't think so. He left Mormonism, so Mormonism is basically not real Christianity. So he did a good thing leaving Mormonism, basically. I was gonna say earlier that the devil definitely is using Looksmaxing. Yep, exactly. Sverich has hundreds of demons in him. Imagine the mental state you have to be to try to unalive your own child. Yeah, pretty crazy. Pretty insano. Captain Insano. That's Sverich. It also, for some reason, seems like this diet too. Well, honestly, the elites, the people who control the world, they need healthy people to run the world. They can't just poison everybody. They can poison most people to kill them off, but there needs to be healthy people, and they need to have healthy food. So, I see a lot of people becoming pagan, Satanists, or atheists. Yeah, I think the community is a really broad stretch, and it's probably pretty inappropriate because the way people eat doesn't necessarily define a community. I think that's not a good describer. But the reason a lot of those people become pagan or Satanists or atheists is because they're searching for meaning or they're possessed by demons. That's the long and short of it, honestly. It's good. I'm still not done. I think I got some chunkier bits on the bottom. It's pretty sour because, like I said, I forgot to put the liver away last night like an idiot. Yeah, popcorn isn't even that bad if it's from, like, good corn. Yeah, a lot of hypocrites there, yeah. Yeah, I mean, this way of eating is very fringe. It attracts a lot of fringe people, so it's kind of comes with the territory. You get some crazies. I'm showing too much leg. It's a good thing I have shorts on. It's not that kind of stream. Thanks for hanging out. Let's see, what's the... Yeah, like I was saying, I was looking at the average view duration, 7 minutes. Crazy. Usually it's a lot higher, but the hours watch time for those videos was lower. So I don't know why that's happening. Do you think we should drink blood as Christians? I don't really think it matters. So the dietary laws in the Old Testament were for the Israelites to prepare for the coming of the Messiah. That was part of the Old Covenant, okay? So when Jesus came and died and was resurrected and went to heaven, that fulfilled the covenant and the prophecy in the Old Testament. So the Messiah has come. So it is no longer necessary to prepare for the Messiah, but it's now the Israelites who are now the Christians, they need to follow in Christ's way. That is the new covenant. The new covenant is Jesus' sacrifice on the cross. So it's okay to drink blood. I'm not necessarily a blood fiend. I don't think blood is necessary. I think it's overrated, honestly. I think it's just a bunch of edgy kids. Like, they really emphasize it because it's edgy and cool. It's like, oh, I'm drinking blood. I don't think, yeah. I don't like drinking blood on its own. It's a little too much for my stomach. I like to drink it with milk. But I don't like to drink it often because it makes me feel weird. I don't like it. It kind of amps me up. I don't really like it. So, I'm not a big on drinking blood, honestly. What do we got here? We're doing a little song action. Nope, nothing yet. You remind me of my dad. Thanks, son. How you doing, son? Are you winning, son? What do you want? Do you want some liver? But it's all in the jar. You can't get your nose in there. Maybe I'll give you some later. Bro, the price of liver went up like 80%. It's crazy. It's $8 a pound now. It used to be $4 a pound. You could have gone behind the couch. She's crazy. to me it sounds gross. It's not great, honestly. It's not that great. People overhype it. They'll drink it and they'll say, "Oh yeah, it tastes like ice cream. It tastes so good, man." It doesn't, man. It just tastes like iron, and yeah, it's not good. Even if you drink it with milk, it still doesn't taste good. Okay, it's not that great. Blood's really overrated. You don't need it. It's not that great. Like I said, it's just something for edgy kids to do. Well, that dog is a Becky, actually, because it's a female dog. That's a Becky, not a Chad. She's a Becky. It's not my dog either. So, it just lives here. So, Bill should have a YouTube channel, though. I don't know how he's going to release the Primal Asylum. Probably can't do it on YouTube, but maybe Rumble. Liver tastes like chocolate. Yeah, that's the stupidest damn thing. You got to be whack to think it tastes like chocolate. It's like I've eaten a lot of chocolate in my life. I've never once thought liver tastes like eating chocolate. Liver tastes like liver. It's not that it tastes... I don't think it tastes great. I don't think it tastes bad, but it's not like, oh yeah, I want to eat a bunch of liver. That sounds like really good to me, you know? I eat it. I'm eating it now because someone said eating the oysters and the liver helped with to make their hair more full. So I'm gonna see if it does anything up here. We'll see. I don't know, but also, I mean, I haven't had liver in a while, so I think it's a good thing to have for some people. So I just kind of felt like maybe it's time to have some, you know. Yeah, man, those people are crazy. It is what it is. What are you gonna do? Let's see here. When did I release my last video? Was it Monday? December 28th. It was 2 days ago. I might release the iridology video tomorrow. I don't know. Was anyone in here when I showed my iris pictures? Did anybody see that, or is this a new crop of viewers? Because I'll show you again, I guess. Imagine eating only liver, though. I bet most of Goda's followers don't even do the diet strictly. I saw this one guy on TikTok. He's like, I'm doing rawprimal for, 1,000 days. That's like, okay, bud. And he's just eating liver. And he failed one time. He had to restart. It's like, yeah, you're not gonna make it. He read Augenis's books, but he still just eats liver. It doesn't make any sense. I've had chicken liver, and I don't know. I don't really think it tastes very different from beef liver. And I had the best chicken liver. Like, I had the best quality chicken liver. What are you doing? Yeah, you. What are you doing? You just lay down. Yeah. You're not getting any of this liver. I'm going to drink it all. Yeah, the chicken liver and the beef liver tastes very much the same to me. The rationalizer. Who's that? The mediator. Who's that? Yeah, just lay down. See? Just hang out. Just hanging out. You speech. I think Goda said, no point eating muscle meat. Just eat organs. Augenis was wrong. He never stressed the importance of organs. Yeah. Foolishness. Obviously, if you saw my iris pictures, everyone said my color changed. So, obviously, eating muscle meat helps. Yeah, and that's why they all look very underdeveloped and weak. Gotus eats a lot of Burger King frequently, I hear, and crisps. If Gotus ate more muscle meat, he wouldn't have lost all his muscle mass, just FYI. If he actually ate the diet, he wouldn't have lost his muscle mass. Look at how he looks from 2017 and look at him now. It's a pretty crazy downgrade, honestly. But I think that's what happens when you do steroids, too. Sent the popcorn songs. Okay. He eats horse meat and fish. Yeah, I don't know about that. Like I said, if he was actually eating that way consistently, he wouldn't have deflated and lost all his muscle mass. Unless he was doing steroids. So. At least steak. Okay, 2 versions. Here we go.
He's the worst father the night before. He used to try popcorn. He's the worst father the night before. He used to try popcorn. 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 He's the worst father the night before. He's the worst father the night before. He used to try popcorn.
Sounds like the Beatles. Is that you really drumming, Bill Jim? Those are real drums, right? You put those drums down? Why do you have a fan page from 5 years ago on TikTok? Because I'm that guy. Because I'm one of the leading raw meat eaters in the world, honestly. I was in that documentary. Look up I Wonder TV Raw Meat. That's me. From when did we do that? I think we shot it 5 years ago, and then it was uploaded 4 years ago. Something like that. No, was it? Yeah, it was in 2020. So yeah, it was 5 years ago. I recorded it 5 years ago, and then it was uploaded. Yeah, wow, it's so long ago, man. Is that me drumming? Yeah, I sounded. You're a tight drummer, man. You're a real good drummer, Bill. That's sick drumming. You're a sick drummer, I can tell. But yeah, I have fan pages because I was famous on TikTok. And then my page was going to get banned because vegans kept mass reporting me. So I went private, and then that kind of turned into never making TikToks again because I realized my life was a lot better without it, to be honest. So, yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I think about getting back into it, but I don't know. I mean, now that my eye color's changed, that's pretty cool, and that's something to show people. The diet's working. So there's a punny letters that the sons are here in this fringe internet community is getting in trouble in this way. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Yeah. I think he gave some of his bitcoins to the assassination attempt. And I think he spent all his money. Interesting lore. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm an unk. I have lore. Yeah, just search up Islander TV raw meat. Yeah, if you search that up, that's me. You probably seen it. Godus reacted to it. Like Cody Co. Like a bunch of people reacted to it. It got millions and millions of reaction views. So, yeah. And I'm still here 5 years later. How about that? Yep. That's life for you. Four likes. Wow, guys, amazing. Thank you. 85 views, amazing. It's great. We are doing it to it. What time is it? 8:30? Okay. I'm going to eat an oyster and then I'm going to chug it again. Got a watch house oyster. Man, these watch house oysters are weak. Like, I don't know how people who shuck oysters, they can make it so there's no oyster shell in your oyster. It's kind of amazing. These look like West Coast oysters, but they taste like East Coast oysters. Sometimes it seems like you're black build, but then other times it seems like you don't think looks matter. How much your opinion do they matter? Looks aren't everything. They help, but they're not everything. You know? So, there's different things going on, It's not just looks. Maybe I don't think looks matter because I have good looks and I don't notice what it's like to be bad looking. I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely not bad looking, but I don't know if I'm exceptionally handsome or good looking. I'm definitely not tall, so. Dog. Sleeping dog. Yeah, that song was too funny. I thought he was a worse father. That's crazy, man. The popcorn. 6 viewers, 4 likes. We've had a pretty low viewer count tonight overall, but we've had a lot of the same folks in here, so that's pretty cool. Love is not an object, it is an energy, but at the same time, there's really objectively beautiful things, but at the same time, it still balances out to where objectively ugly things can be beautiful. Well, I'll tell you, there's polar opposites in the universe, in our realm, in our reality, you know, good and bad, hot and cold, beautiful and ugly, mean and nice. Everything contrasts with each other. What forums? There's a lot of forums. Black pill forums? Look Maxine forums? No. Never. I wouldn't go to those things because I don't really believe in it, I guess, or care enough. So have you ever been to the forums? No. I've been to the Roman Forum in Rome, in Italy. That was pretty cool. All right, time to wash this down. Time to put this back. Ugh. It's not the best, but you get it down and it's all right. I'm probably just going to give this to the dog. I can't do it anymore. I'm good. Your boy is good. Get out of there. Oh, she wanted that. She's locked in on the liver. I'm kind of surprised because normally she doesn't take that kind of stuff. The liver, I mean the organs. That's a good dog, yeah. You like the liver? Is yummy? I can hear a beast gaining nutrients. Yep, that's me. The dog's also licking the bowl, but I don't know if you can hear that. I don't know if the mic's that good. just set this over here. Take care of that later. Is that nummy for you, dog? Yeah, it's up there for you. He's so cute. Yep. I'm familiar with the concept of healthy natural development, like bone structure that can develop over a couple generations, other things that take generations to develop. Yep, takes time. Healing takes time. So, what's up, guys? Now I'm feeling full, man. Now I'm feeling full. Kind of wondering if I want to make a milkshake or not. I don't think I will. Probably just drink some milk. What do you usually feed the dog? Well, there's the stuff I give the dogs, which is like meat scraps, moldy cheese, moldy butter, butter containers, meat scraps, skins, bones, marrow bones. Once I scrape out the marrow, most of their diet is actually bones, because like they have a whole graveyard of bones I gave them, and they just chew on those all day mostly, and then they eat like scraps of cooked and raw food, and then they get like I don't know, whatever like dog food you get from Costco that's like doesn't have grains in it, so they eat like 50-50, raw and kibble pretty much. I mean, not like bad kibble, but it's still not good. If you went back to 16, what would you do? If I went back to 16 knowing what I know now, I would save up $1,000 and buy Bitcoin. I would probably save up more money and travel and do some other investing. It would just really just come down to like monetary stuff mostly, but like maybe I don't know, man. I guess that's it pretty much. Do the diet, meatogenous. That'd be pretty much it. Just like buy a Bitcoin and go to meatogenous and get a consultation. And learn how to do things from him, and just invest a bunch of money in Bitcoin basically, and then wait to sell it. And then I would have cashed out, maybe partially this past summer. Would have waited 20 years and say, okay, I'm going to invest $1,000 and, maybe more. Because I had a job when I was 16. I worked at Subway. How much money would I have had? Oh, I easily could have had a ton more money. Yeah, I don't know. That's the first thing that comes to mind. And then make bets on presidential elections, that kind of thing. Just money, just really money. I mean, I don't know. There really isn't. I bought Bitcoin in like 2012 or whatever, but I just wish, I just had more Bitcoin. That'd be really great. It's pretty much the only thing I think of. If I was to go back, then that's like the first thing. It isn't really anything else. But of course, if you go back to 16 and you don't know what you know now, then you're just going to do the same thing, honestly. So it just depends if you have the knowledge. Hindsight's 2020, what are you going to do? It is what it is, man. Yeah. So, what would you do if you went back to 16? What would you do if you went back? You could be 16 again. Two hours. All right, we're gonna go another 30 minutes, guys. 30 minutes. 30-minute warning. One word, Riz. Hold on, there's some conspiracy theories at my door. I can't stomach eating raw eggs just by themselves, so I blend raw egg with honey and lemon juice and drink it. Is that still good? I wouldn't blend it with the lemon juice because the lemon is hard on the body. So it can also be detoxifying if you do too much, especially with the eggs. So I would recommend to not do that. I would recommend to, if you do that, add cream or blend eggs with the milk and drink that. You don't have to make a full-on milkshake, but I don't want to add milk because it does digest in 30 minutes. Okay. Yeah. I don't know, man. The lemon? I mean, if it's as long as it's not too much, honestly. As long as it's not too much. The honey should really give you enough flavor masking, you know? And you could even just, if you get some good water, some good quality water, you could even make it a little more, a little less thick with the water so you can drink it faster. You know? You could try that. Primal Purgatory. No, I mean, I'm not saying, like, I'm just saying, I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying that if you're doing the lemon like that, especially a lot of lemon all the time with the eggs, it can be hard on your teeth and your body, your bones, and it can cause a detox. It has the potential to do that. So I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what may happen that you're doing. It's not wrong necessarily. It's Primal approved, but that's the risk you run into. So just be advised. Be advised. There, sweetie Mish. You're a dog. You're a dog. Hi, I'm petting you, but I'm not petting you. You're not amused at that, are you? You're a good dog. You're a good dog. Yes, you are. Make sure your eggs are good quality. Eggs should just taste like eggs. They really shouldn't have like a lot of a taste, you know. I don't do critical research unless it's hyper-specific topic. Why would I want to read a black pill forum? Yeah, I agree. I agree. That is not for me. Let's see here. How are we doing on time? Okay, it's been 8 minutes. 5 viewers, 4 likes. How about that? Do you think height inflation is real? Or are people just more conscious about their height? I'm 5'9". I'm walking around. There's honestly not very many people shorter. Well, it's like you said earlier. People aren't eating good diets, so they are going to be shorter. I mean, I'm 5'7", 5'8". I fluctuate depending on my posture, so I'm not tall. Okay, alright, well, just keep doing what you're doing then, I guess, until you get used to it. Have you tried slonking them straight out of the shell? I mean, is it a taste thing or a texture thing? Is it both? What are you doing? You're on alert. And see, I don't have to shock my dog to keep it in frame. It comes back. Yeah. Do I want to throw this box away? Do I even really need it? I guess. It smells kind of funny though. I wore my Revive last night and it was great. No gum irritation. It's perfect the way it is. It's designed very good. So it's very awesome. Very happy with the purchase. I needed it. It came just in time too, because like I actually need to stretch. It came just in time because my R1 was falling apart. Actually, let me need to charge this phone though. No, we're actually pretty Gucci on that. Everything, man. I just like enjoying every sip of the egg, and slogging it down means I'm trying to avoid the taste. Well, I mean, you don't have to enjoy the egg. Just slog it down. I mean, that's kind of crazy. You want to enjoy every sip of an egg. There's not much to sip, man. It's just you get it down in one shot. I'm an efficiency guy, though. So that's coming from someone who prioritizes efficiency over taste and enjoying things a lot of the time. So for me to slog something is more enjoyable than to sip on an egg. You know what I'm saying? Personally. And it is tasty. I mean, that's what I do if I don't have sport formula ingredients. What I do is I'll blend 6 eggs with water and lemon and honey, and I'll drink that as a sport formula. I like to enjoy the primal diet, not suffer through it. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say I suffer through it. I just don't care. But you're right. Some people need that. But I look at food as utility. You know, I can eat the same thing every day just to survive, you know. Kind of like how I did in college. I ate like an orange for lunch, and then I would go home and I would either have eggs, fried eggs with potatoes and onions, a baked potato with butter, brown sugar, or I would have a peanut butter sandwich, or on Tuesdays I would get pizza. It was $2 personal pizzas. They were little like 7-inch pizzas. I'd get 1 or 2 of those, pepperoni. Or I would eat macaroni and cheese, like a 15-cent box of macaroni and cheese with tuna and peas. That's all I ate in college. Those were like my 5 meals for dinner. That's all I ate. Reminds me of going to the gym. I honestly don't know how people like it. You know, I like going to the gym. I don't go anymore, but I used to like it. It's cathartic. Once you get into a routine, and your body psychologically associates the setting with the gym and the workout and the endorphins, it's nice. I meet some pretty decent folks, some decent fellas, you know. It's a good chance to listen to music. You know, you bring your headphones and you can put your tunes on. It's a lot more fun if there's a punching bag and you actually know how to use it, which is what I did for like 2 hours. No, actually, that's not true. I'd lift weights for an hour, and then I'd hit the bag, and then I would bike home after biking there. That was my 3.5, 4 hour routine, roughly. I have chickens. We get overloaded with eggs, so I like the idea of just eating them, but I had a bad experience where one just tasted horrible and rotten. Yeah. That's happened to me a couple times. A rotten egg, a bad egg. I would slonk them. I'm getting lazy again, so it's probably bound to happen. But generally, what happens is like you slonk an egg and it's rotten, and all that rotten egg is in your mouth, and then you just like throw up, gag and throw up. That's what happens to me. Because it's the worst. And then I wise up and I remember to smell the egg before I slonk them. That's what you should do. But I've gotten lazy again. I'm kind of reminding myself to not do that, but I'll probably wake up tomorrow and forget all about it. Such is life. Oh well. Let's see here. I would say I eat an ex-vegan diet with raw milk, and occasionally I try primal foods and fail. That's okay. Raw milk and raw eggs is good. Even though lots of people call the gym stress, unironically I enjoy the gym more than the diet. That's not bad. Like, review them. Live review time. What are we reviewing? Must be strong. What's the most amount of eggs you have eaten in a day? Like probably 24 at least. What are we reviewing, Bill? Tell me. Four likes, 5 viewers. That's great. It's a good ratio, isn't it? Most amount of meat I've eaten in a day is like 3 pounds. I had like 3 pounds of swordfish in one go. Pretty great. What's the review? Tell me. Yo, what's up? Yes, I would say that, but I'm not the one who's typing. Interesting. I'm going to figure out it on my own, but I'll send the clip and see what you think. Your streams are very relaxing and grounding in a world where there is so much hyperstimulation. Oh, thank you. A lot of people say that. I only keep the yellow part of the egg. The white clear gives me stomach pain. It's a skill issue. So I have this tree outside, a very nice tree. I drilled what I thought was a reasonably sized hole in it and goo came out, so I thought, why not? Now my willy is stuck in the tree. Please advise. Call the fire department. Look at the jaws of life in there for you. I saw your video. Most meat plants spray chemicals to keep the meat looking fresh as it's wrapped in plastic to be sold. I don't really know if the spray is to keep it fresh. It's more just so for like regulations of testing and bacteria, I think. A lot of the time, geomaxing doesn't work for unattractive white guys. You hear stories about it, and it's brutal. So geomaxing, okay, so let me see if I can interpret this. Geomaxing is moving to a different place to max on the geography. Is that what that means? Will the FD harm my willy? No. I think firefighters are pretty experienced with that sort of thing. Is geomaxing when you find a lot of geocaches? I've yeah, I used to do a little geocaching. It was fun. If you're ugly, don't think Asian, Black, or Latina are going to. I mean, like I said, it's not really all about looks, you know. Yeah, I'd imagine I could get a lot of nisa in the Middle East if I went there. When I used to teach English to Arab students, they all I was the assistant assisting another teacher, but none of them wanted to talk to the other teacher. And I think it's because he didn't have a beard, but I had a really big beard at the time, and they would tell me, "Oh, your beard is so beautiful. Your beard is so beautiful. It's powerful." And they like respected the shit out of me because I had this huge beard, and they always wanted to have me answer their questions. They'd like raise their hand, and the teacher would come over and be like, "No, no, 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 no. I want, Mr. Chris." And so I'd go over, but yeah, like having a beard like that, like when I grow out my beard, it's really good, and having a beard over there is like a power move. It's crazy. I think even the women liked the beard, but very bashful about it. A lot of them had their faces covered up anyway, but yeah, it was pretty funny. Remember Richard Ramirez? Not really. Ever heard of Tegeta? Tegeta? Is that like a Dragon Ball Z character? Is that like his the double star constellation of Taurus? Is that what you're talking about? I don't know what that is. This was teaching them in America. It was pretty funny. I was doing a lesson on weather one time, and I showed them tornadoes, and they all got really freaked out. They're like, "This happens here?" I was like, "Yeah, sometimes." And they were like really scared. It was pretty funny. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess so. Is this something you want me to comment on now in the stream or what, Bill? It's not loading. The video's not loading, actually. Maybe it needs some time to load. Maybe I'll restart the app. Let me close all. Not working. Yeah, of course. I was speaking adjacent to the conversation about finding beautiful women who would. Okay. They say Tegeta is where it's at. Oh, I see. Is that like a a Greek god reference, like Greek mythology reference or something. Go to Eastern Europe, like Russia, and find a woman. No, I'm okay. I don't want a Slavic woman. I've decided that. I wouldn't fare well. I think the cultural clash would be a little bit too much. I wouldn't really want to deal with that. Again, I'm not saying all Slavic women are the same, but it just wouldn't be my first choice. It wouldn't be where I would go. Oopsie. Lost a little mucus there. Yeah, I found it weird. Ever since I started doing the diet, I get these, they're like globs of mucus that are, they're not like runny, but it's almost like a goop. You know what I mean? It's like a goop. It's like not sticky, but it doesn't like, it's not watery, it's not liquidy, it's like a goop. It's weird. But I did hear that. No, I'm not into hooking up with women. I've been celibate for, will it be 6 years? Yeah, I guess it will be 6 years coming up. I've been celibate for 6 years. Got rid of the dating apps. Just kind of gave up. Just kind of gave up on that. So, yeah. You see, lust drives that sort of behavior for fornication. It doesn't really matter, you know, if it's fornicating with women or, you know, dudes. Like, fornication is built on lust, and lust is the driver. So it's all the same thing. It all stems from the same thing. Wanting to sleep with a bunch of different people, no matter what they identify as, whatever. It's a spiritual sickness. So it doesn't matter if you're out, you know, as a man, as a Chad, bedding a bunch of Beckys and Stacys, or you know, a fella who likes to spend time with a lot of other fellas. You know what I mean? It's just based on this lust, this engine of lust, this disease of lust, and it propels people to act in a certain way. And it's not good for the soul. So, you know, it's all kind of the same, you know? Sure, I mean, everybody wants a good woman, you know. And, you know, I wouldn't say everybody, but, you know, all men want a good woman. All women want a good man. Now, of course, there's some people who don't want any partnership, and that's okay. Right, yeah. Yeah, the lust issue doesn't just apply to men, it also applies to women. It might even be a little bit more, how could I say? In some ways, women might be a little bit more driven in the passion of lust sometimes. Because, you know, they have their hormonal cycles. So, it takes two to tango. If you don't think looks made the most, what would you say the actual difference is between an incel and a slayer? It's really just your vibe, essentially, your aura. Once you grow up and get out in the world, you will see what I'm talking about. It doesn't always matter on looks. Granted, things were a lot different 15, 20 years ago, okay? But I believe that is still at play. Yeah, I don't know. Video's not coming through. It just has that little circle. Did it show up? Yeah, you see? That's what I get. It's not coming through. I need to see something. The statistics on lewd websites have reached drastically towards female consumption, especially since 2020. Interesting. 15 to 30%. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't really paid much attention to stuff like that, but that's interesting. Maybe it was like auto censor or something. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the file size was too big. Let me check on my. Oh, dagnabbit. Let me check my Insta again. Let me see if it loaded. Yeah, no, it didn't load. I don't know, Chief. Do you feel a deep, calm sense of well-being sometimes on this diet? More so than other days, or is it a steady feeling for you? Barring the other existential madness that goes on in my head, and the overthinking and the analyzing, just all that stuff, I guess so. I play retro consoles like Game Boy. It reminds me of old times. I don't play Game Boy, but I was doing some Sega Saturn emulators on here. Fortunately, I don't have enough RAM to run them efficiently with a live stream. So, yeah. But I was playing Civilization 4. That's kind of a retro game. It charges up and activates like a meat battery. Wow, that's crazy. Meat batteries. What is this, The Matrix? 6 viewers, 6 likes. That's awesome. Age of Empires and Age of Mythology. Yeah, I had a friend who played those games. I'd watch him play. I didn't really quite get it because I didn't own them, so I didn't know enough to get it. But yeah, you could. It'd probably be better to do it on a computer that doesn't get internet, so your main device doesn't get compromised, or because if your device connects to the internet and you're running that OS, even if it's partitioned on another drive, it's still kind of risky. Yeah, I bought a lot of old games on Steam. I suppose I could, you could always download them off the Pirate Bay and stuff. So I find myself here, yet I don't know about the people in my own age bracket. I got circumcised because I was insecure and really regret it. Sometimes I feel like it's a sign from God. Surgery doesn't go well because I don't know. Yeah, man. I think that is a sign. Bro, you cut off your member. Join the club. Of course, you had a choice in it. I didn't. But, yeah, dude. That sucks. That's, yeah. Very bad. Very upsetting. Very depressing. Hopefully you learned your lesson. Back in the VDSL era, I used to emulate to download stuff. Huh. I would simply use the internet to put drivers on a USB. Oh yeah, I guess those kind of operating systems were not very big at the time. Yeah, circumcision doesn't just remove functionality; it also removes the nerves that talk to your brain. So, at those regions, that's rough, man. I'm sorry to hear that, Gust. But I think let that be a lesson to you that surgery is not the answer. But life goes on. Oh yeah, Instagram videos. Let's see. Ah, there we go. I'm reviewing this? Oh, I see. Oh man, that's brutal. It's so brutal. It's viscerally. It's kind of disturbing, but it's kind of funny too. It's good, man. You're a real artist, Bill. I know you're a real artist for sure because like I heard you put down those drums. You put it down. They were perfect. Even though it was just a simple, 4 on the floor beat or whatever, but just the way you played it, you have feel. You have feel in drumming. You're a good artist. Because like a lot of people, I've heard people play drums. They just have no feel. Any kind of musical instrument, actually, they just have no feel behind it. They have no emotion behind it. No balls, no guts, no nothing. They don't put any oomph into it, and it's so dry and boring. But when I heard your drums, even though it was just that 20 seconds or whatever, I'm like, oh yeah, this guy is good. I can tell. Um, no, you can't regrow the cut part. Foreskin restoration, it involves using mitosis to lengthen the skin manually, creating a skin fold with the shaft to cover the glands, to restore function to the glands. It's not a full restoration of the foreskin, the pieces, the parts that comprise it, but it's creating a new shaft to cover the glands to restore function to the glands, specifically. Agenus was circumcised, I believe so. He talked about it once, I think. Everything does blow, dude. It's so true. Everything does suck. Even like the new $1 Million Extreme wasn't that good. I didn't get a chance to tell Nick that, but I definitely would have told Sam that if that was released when I shook his hand at the stand-up show. Yeah. I'm considering restoring. Yeah, it takes years, man, so don't wait to start. I used to do it, and I kind of gave up on it because it's a lot of work. But honestly, they have a lot of good devices out there now that you can use. Just buy one of those. Buy one of those, the Mantor, 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 the Mantor Restore. I think that's the best one. That's the best one out there. That's what I would buy. But it's just kind of a hassle to do, but you can make it work. Anyways, it wasn't a major question, but I'm going to have to figure out what science to go with. One less harsh, one in a different environment, etc. Just don't take any of those injections. They're too obsessed with money in the end. Goddess of their art, not about the passion of creating something actually good. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, the money changes people when they're making art. It changes stuff. Sometimes the truly gifted people it doesn't change. But dog. Dog. Who's dog? You're slightly misreading my comments. Oh, I'm sure I'm more than slightly misreading them. Oh, okay. I thought it was science. Do the one that is more harsh because it promotes a visceral reaction. And let me watch them again. Yeah, I didn't really notice too much. But now that you mention it, they're slightly different. They were slightly different. I like the second one more. I think I don't know. They're both pretty good, but the second one's a little bit better. The father being in the background more, flexing is pretty funny. If he could be in like frame a little bit more on the zooming in, like in the first one, I think that would be better. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. They're both pretty good. They're both funny. I laughed at both of them. So it might just depend on the other aesthetics you're using, for those types of shots. Having a continuity of visual cinematography with those scenes, because I think that would probably help keep people immersed. If you're doing things like that, to kind of have them have a similar aesthetic, a certain theme. That way, it doesn't take people out of the picture too much. Because if you're trying to relay that idea, and it's too different, it'll take people out of the experience. So you want people immersed. Yeah, not that necessarily they have to stand on their own. That's true, but I was just speaking more from a visual aesthetic context of keeping a continuity of stylistic choices throughout. It should make sense. Like, why did they do this? Why did they use this lighting? Why did they use these camera angles? The slave man fed their sons grain slips. Yeah, so the difference that I see is the lighting between the two clips, but also you can see the man's face in the first clip longer when it zooms in. He's a little closer in the second clip, and his face kind of cuts out. I think it's kind of funnier if you can see his face through the whole thing, but I don't know. They both look good, but the difference is that lighting, which I don't know. I think that lighting is a little better. And the kid has the grain gut. Did I see a pronounced grain gut on the first one? Oh, he did, yeah. Oh, yeah. He doesn't have the grain sludge on him in the second clip, too. And honestly, I don't know. The difference between the doctor's office and just an empty room is also interesting. But the lighting is pretty. This is so crazy. This is going to be hilarious, man. I can't wait to see that. You ever plan on being nice to someone and then just can it for cinematic purposes? Yeah, I do that a lot. Or at least I used to, and people didn't realize I was joking. Like, I think it's funny because I visualize that, but they don't because they're a normal person, and then I just look like an ass or a weirdo. So I don't really do that anymore, but yeah, I did that a lot. It's an AI song off the YouTube comment. Awesome. Yeah, I remember that. You showed me that screenshot of the comment. Classic. I appreciate the input. I have different pictures to work with, so I'll have to figure it out. You ever plan on? I'm pretty sure being circumcised isn't an end-all be-all, considering most people are circumcised way behind in their sexual health anyway. No, it's actually a really big deal. It's pretty terrible. What times have I felt best after a diet? Honestly, after a detox. Nah. I don't know. After a detox, I guess. I feel kind of like a wet noodle after a bath, and sometimes I just want to sleep, or sometimes I get energy. It just depends. You know? Eating a bunch of oysters is good. I'm trying to pop these. Got pimples on my back. A few pimples popping up. I wouldn't even do it to my dog. Yeah, that'd be terrible. Well, you look at a dog's, member, and like it'd be totally unprotected. That's basically what's happening to you as a human being. It's pretty bad. Yeah. Yeah, circumcision's terrible. We talked about that here a few times. Almost certain we did. I guess they don't circumcise dogs. I mean, I wouldn't want a spray or neuter my dog. Yeah, lumped all into the same. It's really not too. It's not too far off from neutering someone. Honestly, it's like neutering. It's like 50% of neutering somebody, man. Wonder why Ajahn was completely silent on topic of circumcision. Probably because he was dealing with like dying, sick people. Just to guess. Damn, I want some milk though. Yeah, the body is sacred for sure. The body is a temple. Our bodies are temples. They're temples so we can communicate with God. Yep. Hmm. Is it still worth making loop formula if I don't have good quality eggs for time being? Yeah, because the eggs will mix in with the butter just fine, and you shouldn't really have any issues. If you do have issues, then cut out the eggs. But yeah, it's fine. Eggs are fine, even if they're not the best. Hey man, how big of a deal if juicing kale as far as goitrogens? Do you think vegetable juice? I'm still eating, I don't know, goitrogens? I mean 5%. 5% in your kale in your juice. 5%, 10% kale in your juice should be fine. No issues. I've juiced kale. No issues. It adds a foamy, earthy taste to your juice. It's not bad, actually. It's fine. I never had problems with it. Let's see how long I've been streaming. 3.5 hours. 7 viewers. We got some people popping in now. Maybe I'll stay up another 8 people. 10. Maybe I'll stay up another half hour. You know what? Yeah, I'll stay up. If you guys keep the questions coming, I'll stay up. I need to get some milk, though. I'll be right back. Okay. I messaged you on Instagram. Wow. No comments, but you guys are just chilling here. You're troopers. Thank you. 7 likes, 6 views. That's great. Thank you. Let me check my messages. Oh yeah, Instagram. Instagram should get better over time. Time heals all wounds, my friend. Yeah, it's unfortunate, with eggs because you're like, oh, I don't have good eggs, but my herd share guy, like shipping eggs is a pain. It's expensive too, so it's tough because you got to buy like a lot of insulation and things for protecting the eggs. And shipping is always some eggs always break, so you're always paying like full price for 8 eggs because they break. But yeah, I sent you that on Instagram. I'll pull up my email. I'll get I'll send over the form for you. Get that started. Yeah, so far everybody's pretty happy with the agreement. I mean, his so he's new to cheese making. I don't know how good his cheese is. I haven't had to order any because I get cheese from other places. I already like have cheese. So he might need some time to perfect his cheese making process, but I think he'll get there, You're back. You got a sock. You got a sock. Oh, you got a little socky. Little sock. You're so cute. You're a cute dog. It never stays down here with me. Like when I go to bed, she's just down here when I'm awake because she thinks I got food for her. Okay, yeah, we gotta add the member number too. Do. So yeah. I train dolphins and taste test laxatives. The dolphin training is actually more of a part-time thing, and it's highly seasonal because when the dolphins need to get trained, before the season comes on, and then I taste test laxative is my main gig. That's Saturday to Thursday. Dolphin training's Friday and Saturday. And yeah, it's pretty good. Taste testing laxatives. I'm out there on the front lines making sure people have a proper dosage to get their bowels moving. So, someone's got to do it. It's a thankless job, but someone's got to do it. Holiday break right now, of course. So we take Christmas and New Year's Eve off. So there's a lot of benefits, to the job. Very flexible work-life balance. Because you need to let the stomach rest for a week so it doesn't get too overwhelmed with the laxatives. Boring desk job, sitting at a desk, drinking laxatives all day. Strawberry flavored, cherry flavored, banana flavored, vanilla flavored, chocolate flavored. Done it all. Yeah, I need to go back to Instagram. Oh. That's if you had some raw cheese. Well, the raw cheese is the opposite of laxatives. Heck yeah. Heaven yeah. I'm trying to say heaven yeah more than, you know, HEW hockey sticks yeah because it's a bad word. You know what I'm saying? Man, I got these. I shouldn't do it. I'm a picker. It's bad. I know it's bad. I've got scars from picking. But I just have acne, you know? It's just Belle Delphi. There's a name I haven't heard in a while. She was like the e-girl queen for a minute. She was a pioneer. I think she just disappeared. She probably retired. Whatever happened to Belle Delphi? Let's see. She got her bathwater earnings back from PayPal in 2024. Huh. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you make that sort of content, you know. You kind of become branded just as a, you know, the lewdness factor. And, you know, it's, you're there and then you're not there. Oh, I have those lights on. Hold on, I need to turn those off. In 4 hours, pretty much. I am gonna wrap it up here, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chilling. Hope everybody has a good night. I probably won't stream till Friday. See you later.